Hello there, guys, and welcome to Daily Updates. Hope you guys didn't wait that long. We had to wait for the IEC. Their system crashed. Uh, Not knowing what the issue was. People are speaking about the fact that they're probably rigging the votes. But anyway, just an update, a refresh on the system. Tells us that we are over 50%, standing at 55%. So this is what's going on currently. The ANC is losing. We slept while the ANC was on 42. The ANC has just went further to 41.95%. And the DA comes on 23.66%. The ANC has just passed over 3 million, and now they're standing on 3,200,000, and the DA almost on 2 million, with the MK just about to reach 1 million before the economic freedom fighters. No one would have thought this would be the result, especially the difference between MK and the EFF. The MK is now on 10%, almost 11%, just running after the DA. Those 10% are what the ANC would be saying, this is our vote. If not for the MK, they would be over 50% by now. Now, the EFF, unfortunately, is still trying to come up to 10%, standing at 9.57%, with 700,000 votes. And along comes the PA, who have also grown so well, standing at 200,000, and it's 2.74%. You can just see the difference. The number 5, when you compare them to EFF, it is a huge margin because they're standing at just 2%, and they are followed by they are followed by the IFP on 200,000, also 2.59%, and the Freedom Front Plus, they've just been kicked down as compared to the last time in 2019, and followed by Action SA. Herman Mashaba will be in Parliament. As you can see, they are standing on 1.12%, and followed by the ICDP, which got 48. There is the ATM also, they're climbing up. And surprise, Rise Mzansi is finally coming along with Bossa. So it tells us that the possibility of the two, Rise Mzansi and Bossa, going to Parliament, it is now coming along just fine. They would be going there. And Triple C also at 25,000 votes with 0.33. And then there's Al Jama with 0.27. PAC, good, and the rest of them. Ace Makashule is still on 0.14 with just almost 11,000 of the votes. And Cope is still sitting on 0.9, 0.9%, with 7,000 votes. So as you go down, it's just 0.01, 0.0. So basically, those are the latest in terms of the national. And I would like to go to the provincial just before we come back to speak about the national. So when you go to provincials, let us begin with the Eastern Cape, which is sitting at 65.04%. They are almost about to get done with their calculations and the accounting. Now, the ANC is sitting comfortably there at 65.76, 600,000 attained from the Eastern Cape. Just a second, guys. As you can see that now, the DA is on 12% and they got 130,000 of the votes, with the EFF sitting at number 3, 9.75%. UDM follows up on number 4 with 3.31%. And there is the PA. Now they are climbing as they've just passed the ATM. The Patriotic Alliance gaining 22,000 votes in Eastern Cape with 2.21%. And then you have the ATM with 1.43% with just 14,000 votes. And MK growing so well, they got 13,000 votes in Eastern Cape, giving them 1.36%. PAC and Herman Mashaba Action SA, VF Plus, ACDP, Raz Mzansi, they are all on 0.58, 5.48% respectively. This is the Eastern Cape leaderboard at the moment with 65% calculated. Now, when you look at this, ANC, obviously, they're going to be leading. They're going to take this. They probably would have wished to see themselves gaining these votes nationally, but unfortunately, the arrival of Mr. Jacob Zuma proved to be a problem for the ANC. They are growing well in the Free State with a significant increase from last time having had 52%. Now they are going to 53, meaning that the Free State is a province where the ANC can comfortably say that we are still safe. 77% complete. The DA is sitting on 21.58% of the votes, having gained 124,000. And the EFF is at third with 77,000, just 13.50%. We are going to go back on national. Just let's go through the provincials, and once done, we can go back. Now, the VF Plus is number 4 in the Free State, 19,722, meaning that is 3% of the total votes. And just after the VF, Zuma again is receiving 13,916 votes. Again, it's proving to be a very important one because it adds to the national where Zuma would be doing very well. As you can see, 2.48%, and the PA, they've just gained 6,111 with 1%. There is Action SA and ATM. If one can see, there is Claudi with just 2,750. Claudi prepared himself to win, but unfortunately, he sees himself losing those desired vote that he thought he's going to get. And this is what he said yesterday.
Within 4 months, it was impossible. Reality is, we could not reach South Africa within 4 months. It was impossible. I can tell you, if you ask me, if we did very bad, it was supposed to be around 30,000 numbers that voted. for ACM if we are not doing very well. These numbers are misleading. In any case, people are very afraid of Saudi because they were afraid that if I take government, South Africa is going to change within 6 months. You can see they were panicking. Really?
Comedy Central there from Saudi, not being able to accept the fact that he's failing massively. Because speaking about 30,000, while you can't even produce more than 5,000 in your own province of the Free State, it should be very embarrassing for him. Anyway, Gauteng, a very interesting province everyone would be looking at. And unfortunately, the IEC again just went off on Gauteng. Let's just see. Free State. It seems like it would be qualified to call them that they are cooking these results because Free State is back, but Gauteng is not yet back. Let us see the KZN. Not back again. So it does seem like they are probably taking time. Okay, there's another one that is back. Okay, we'll check the ones that are back. Sitting at 68.13%, the Western Cape. The counting is complete at 68.13%, just around 30% to go. So the DA is still leading comfortably at 52.98%, while the ANC is at 19%. They should be proud of themselves. The DA is shaded in yellow colors. As you can see, it's all over the Western Cape, and you have the ANC on some other parts of the Western Cape, and along come the PA in blue, having some other parts also. And the EFF is on number 4 with 4.5%, 53,000 of the votes. The DA has around 600,000 with the ANC 200, and the PA has received 100,000. They have done so well in Western Cape, considering that they are also almost new because they haven't been playing part in the Western Cape. So getting 100,000 nationally, getting 100,000 in the Western Cape would prove to be a very good one for them. It's assisting them in their fight in the Western Cape. They actually said that it is time over for the DA, but it looks like it's not because the DA is just over 50%. Triple C is doing well also at 31,000 with VF Plus having 22,001%. Al Jama ACDP good, and MK Party received 6,000 of the votes, amounting to 0.52% in the Western Cape. And Zaki is on 5,346. He has more votes than Rise Mzansi and also Musi Maimane of the Bossa. Action SA sitting at 3,000 in the Western Cape. I think the Northern Cape should be done with their calculation by now. This is the Northwest. Northern Cape. Okay, Northern Cape has just went up. This is the Northwest. The Northwest sitting at 51.9%. The ANC is comfortable. The ANC is comfortable in Eastern Cape, in Free State, and now the Northwest. And how they are sitting, the ANC sitting at 60%, the EFF on 16%, the DA is at 12%. And looking at the differences, it's 200,000 votes for the ANC, 66 for the EFF, and 46 for the DA. The ANC in green colors, with the EFF having smaller areas but red colors. VF Plus is on 3%, and there is MK again. They got 6,000 votes in the Northwest, amounting to 1.71%. And it does look like the MK will be all over the place at this point because each and every province, they are getting votes, and their rallies, it's not like they were campaigning all over, but Zuma's influence is still being noticed. Getting 6,000 when people like Herman Mashawa are still under you, it means that you have been working. Bossa just receiving 1,000, and even Rise Mzanze with their huge budget, they only received 1,142. And Zuma should really be proud with the MK party because they've done a massive job all over the country. Now this is Limpopo. In the Limpopo, we are 44% complete, and I said it yesterday that we must be prepared to see Limpopo going up and up. Limpopo should be compared to the KZN because that is where the ANC is getting a lot of support. And in the KZN, the MK party is also fighting a good battle. So these two provinces would be a decider in terms of whether the ANC gets more votes or they reduce. But of current, the ANC has received 400,000 in Limpopo, amounting to 73, with the EFF sitting at second, 12%, at 73,000. And the DA is just third with 37. It's safe to say that the EFF is probably going to remain number two. And the difference between DA and VF Plus is big because 37,000 as compared to VF Plus with 7,344, amounting to 1.27%. And again, MK Party has just arrived again. This time they got 5,000 votes in Limpopo, the province where Cyril Ramaphosa is whipping everyone. It seems like the people decided to give Zuma a chance all over. I mean, 5,000 is good considering these other provinces, Zuma didn't really visit them and go around more as much as he did in the KZN. So the people were listening. They were watching TV. They realized that they need to give Zuma a chance. And he got 5,000 votes, almost 1% of the vote. And he's number 5. So Zuma is making moves. And Action SA UAT follows. They are all on 0.9158 down there, meaning they're still trying to come back. That is the Limpopo region. And let's check if the Northern Cape has been changed. Okay, still no result. They should be back when time goes in these 4 provinces. But we did check the. Let us go back to the national one as they are busy updating the system. This is the national. We have we have 41% of the ANC, 21%, 23% of the DA, and 11%. It's almost just 2% to 0.2 to go. 11% of the MK, followed by 9%, 9.55% of the EFF. And it should be said that the difference between MK and the EFF is that MK received a lot of vote from the ANC because that is where Zuma left and decided to form MK. So a lot of people followed him, which is all the parties should really thank MK if they really wanted to see the ANC losing votes. Top says Limpopo is disappointing with the ANC. It seems like they love the ANC so much. They enjoy the ANC, and of course, I think they know that if they don't back Ramaphosa, it's going to be a problem because on the other side, the KZN is a problem also because MK has just arrived. So now the difference between MK and EFF is that EFF is looking to increase, but not with a lot of votes. Last time they did around 10%, and we all expected the EFF to go around 15%. But the introduction of MK is proving to be a serious problem because they've just taken that number 3 spot. And now the biggest question would be, with how things are going now, are we going to see the ANC working with the DA? Because that is a possibility. If the DA wants to avoid everyone and work with the ANC, their chance would be to take this one because there might never be another chance again. And also, if they really want to get rid of the ANC, the only thing they can do is to decide to work together and bring an independent person as the president. That is where the dream of Mogoeng comes in. Because none of them would want to be led by another party. Julius wouldn't want Steenhuisen to come. And I think also Zuma wouldn't want Steenhuisen. And the same remains to the others. So every time he says MK, he takes a shot. I'm not sure what you're referring to on that one. So basically, the relationship should be that the DA, MK, EFF, and the rest of the parties could work together, bring in Mogoeng as a president, and the rest of them can be ministers. And then they can try and work together on that. Or the DA would say, I'm working with the ANC. And even as you look at it, it might be impossible for the EFF alone to work with the ANC because it looks like the ANC is going down while the pace of the EFF is very slow. So the best thing they can do is to get rid of the ANC. They've been in power for a long time. Maybe they should be taking this opportunity to try and see if they can do things better without the ANC. Make the ANC the opposition party. If really they can sit down and negotiate better, put egos aside and differences aside, just for the benefit of South Africans, it would be to show us, since, well, they've been criticizing the ANC, how can they do it? Work together. I mean, the percentage allows them to work together. It's working together for them. And if they can't take this opportunity, it's going to be a problem. And when looking at it, I'm afraid Zille might be siding with the ANC. I do not see Helen Zille wanting to work with the EFF and MK. Mpo says, I think when it comes to the counting, something is not made sure. Which one are you referring to in terms of what? The system being offline? And Kamohelo, I think that would be better for us all, DA, MK, and EFF. Of course, that is the only option they can take. And speak to other parties. Imagine if they all want to be ministers, there's a lot of ministers, and decide to bring Mogoeng as a president, then no one would say that it's unfair for DA to be president. No one would say that. The best thing they can say is to bring someone independent like Mogoeng and say, be a president, and the rest of us can be ministers and maybe decide on someone who has the more votes, like the DA. Put the DA as the deputy president. Remember, this is not about who loves who. It's about, can we work for the people of South Africa? If really they care about us and if really they need change, they shouldn't blame the people of South Africa for not voting well. This time, people of South Africa voted well. They voted against the ANC. So if we voted like this, next thing you see the DA going to work with the the ANC, it's a betrayal. Because by working with them, it means we will never see a day without the ANC. We'll never see governance without the ANC. And at this point, Ramaphosa should accept defeat And if really he doesn't see himself as an opposition party, because it's going to mean that he's forever in parliament. He's no longer going outside the country to meet delegates from other countries, because his work will be restricted in South Africa. If really he doesn't see himself getting tired of that, um, he needs to leave. Because the only thing for Ramaphosa would be to say that I've lost the presidency, someone must take over. Paul Mashatile can come in, and because it seems like for ANC, this is something they've never expected. They probably thought that Zuma would be disappointed. So now what can happen is that Zuma will be smiling, waiting for them to expel him officially. And he's going to meet them at their offices for that meeting to expel him. But he's also going to be telling them that it's over for you. And I would be very surprised if any of the parties decide, let us work with the ANC. I mean, how do you want to work with them when you've been calling them corrupt and that they must go? There is 41% a chance for the people of South Africa to say that we have given you support. No one can complain. No political party can complain. Even the EFF cannot complain about not getting enough votes. Everyone got a better share. And they should thank Jacob Zuma for coming and saving them. He is the only person who could have done this. Because if it was not for Zuma, there would not be 41%. You would not be seeing 41. It would be way up. So now, my suggestion is that Zille, leave the ANC alone. Look at the other political parties, and they must stop fighting for who's going to be the leader. The most thing that we need from them is them having a good governance in South Africa. Change everything that you see is wrong and forget about stealing. Sandile, I don't see Zille, Zuma, and Malema agreeing because of ideological differences. That's the thing. If they look at that, then we are in trouble, because we want people to work together for the people of South Africa. You put your ideology and differences aside and work for us. So if they are going to bring them and say that this is how we want to work, it's going to be a very big problem for us, because you bring ANC, we'll still feel like the looters are back. Kruger says Ramaphosa and Malema has been defeated. It's time for Juju and Ramaphosa to what? To go. I don't think Julius Malema would leave the EFF. Julius Malema stepping down in the EFF would be a huge loss, because the next leader who might take over will not have the influence that Julius have. It's just that the only difference that has to happen in the EFF is for them to go back and look at the public utterances and how they really clarify some of the issues to us. And I think it's safe to say that if really they focus on the needs of South Africans, because the vision of Julius uniting Africa, it should start in South Africa. Come into South Africa and show us that this is how I want to run. This is how I want South Africa to be. And once we see that you are a great leader and you are for the people, you can take that same spirit and pass it around Africa. But if you don't work, they say charity begins at home. If you don't begin at home, people won't have trust in you. I think that is what is happening with the EFF. And they still have a lot of time to go back and say that next election, let us speak to the people of South Africa. Not only the voters of EFF, not only the people carrying the membership, but even those who don't support the EFF. EFF conference this December, yes. It's coming this December, but still. Malema, I don't see him going. As you are saying, Stephen, please guys click the like button. It's going to help us better. So now, as I said, the only thing for Julius Malema and the EFF to do is to relook at the approach to the people of South Africa. The most interesting people that you need to go after is not the people carrying the membership, it's not the people who already love you. It is your haters, the people that don't believe in you, that don't like you. You must go down and see what are their problems, and if it is possible to include them in in your manifestos, in how you approach. And you don't necessarily need to change everything, but really you need to accommodate them a bit. I mean, this election was a call for the EFF to say that this is how we want to resolve the problems of South Africa. And then once we are done, this is how we are going to resolve the problems of Africa. Just maybe. A lot of people, especially the voters of Patriotic Alliance, would have decided that EFF is the home that we need to go to, because let us check Patriotic Alliance. You see, the 200,000 of votes that is with the PA, probably about 70 to 80,000 would have went to the EFF, or even more, had some of the issues been resolved, because the PA got a lot of votes. But don't forget that their stance on illegal foreigners, they are not changing those. They are forever speaking about illegal foreigners, and probably that is why people have decided to vote for them. As you can see, there is the IFP with 2%, the VF 127, and Action SA is on 88,000 with the 1%. Herman Mashaba almost breaking that 100,000. And the ATM sitting at 32,000 votes. EFF and MK should come together, says Senzo. And Kruder says foreigners issues has costed EFF. And then the brainwave South Africa, Yala, disappointing. How many decades do we need to see someone for they really are? ANC got to go, and these numbers are crazy. Well, the ANC is leaving, and I think change takes time. Change takes time, and it takes time for people to really embrace change. And it seems like they are fed up with the ANC, except the people of Limpopo. The people of Limpopo are enjoying the ANC. It's on the ACT is on 11,000, and down there is just those parties that we all think that they should not be contesting because it's a waste of money. Just to check if you guys are satisfied with the national, we can check the provincials. Maybe Gauteng, which is the most interesting province, has been fixed. Still no results. They are cooking the results of these other provinces. ANC is probably stressed about, and it's such ironic because Gauteng is a critical one. KZN very critical, even Mpumalanga, because ANC is seeing flames in Mpumalanga with the MK getting a lot of votes. So why is it that everyone is back except, let's see, everyone is back except even the Northern Cape. The ANC also is losing a lot of votes. I mean, we don't want to speculate anything, but why is these three provinces not showing anything? And this is where the ANC is losing. We don't have results yet. So hopefully when time goes, they can update it. But the ANC should really be worried about the fact that once they have completed counting, they are probably going to see themselves as an opposition party. That once big party is unable to get over 50%. Karabo says ANC and EFF against all parties, Oppenheimers. I think MK won't work with ANC. You are right. MK and ANC, it won't happen. It is not going to happen. PA seems serious about their talk. They will work great with MK. Yeah, the PA and MK, they could work together. the relationship, it seems likely to happen. And my biggest issue is with the DA. You know, the DA, as we have seen with local elections, it seems like it's that party that it's difficult to trust them, because one minute they're together with others, the next they are fighting. And their relationship with EFF is where we are going to see if really they can go back to that, because at one point there was support amongst the two parties supporting each other at municipalities. And next thing, they say that they don't want to work with each other. The DA declaring the EFF the number one enemy. And to be honest, it seems like it worked. That stands on the EFF is our number one enemy. When we see the DA on number two with 23%, we know that they were not just saying it. They said it, the voters went and supported them. Julius said that we are not looking at the DA small boys. We are looking at the big one, the ANC. And little did they expect the MK to come between them and the DA, because the introduction of the MK became a problem for them, because it shot them back to number four. And I don't see them jumping the Umkondo Wesizwe, because unfortunately we are unable to see KZN. KZN would tell us the story of how MK would do, because if they are still under 50% of the votes, then we would know that this is how things are going to look. But as of now, the EFF is number four. Hopefully, they are going to update very soon. Quada says, okay, Melukolo, what happened to Kaiser Chiefs is happening to the ANC. They're going down. It's sad to see. And Quara, only 55.63 counted. I will not make the conclusion that EFF or ANC has lost grounds. I still see EFF as being third force. The fact of the matter is Zuma is more popular than Ramaphosa. Okay, he's more popular than Ramaphosa, but how is the EFF going to beat Zuma when Zuma is on 10.98, almost 11, and EFF is still going for 10%? And remember, KZN, last night when we slept, they were on 18%. So they are probably now sitting on 20-something percent. And as long as KZN doesn't have a lot of counting complete, you must just know that there would be more of them from KZN, where MK party would be getting the majority. So the issue of EFF and MK, we must just forget about it. EFF would not pass MK. It is not going to happen. As time continues to go, we will see that MK is probably going to go closer to 15%. And that would mean the ANC keeps going to 39% or even 38% when the calculations are done. Because remember, KZN is going to prove to be a big problem. Even if DA have majority in Western Cape, they should include PA to really fix all of Cape Town. But remember, they don't want PA anywhere near them. So them having over 50%, it won't make sense to go and work with them. And Kolani says EFF was born 2014 and foreigners came in 2015. They must tell us, plan how would they will they get rid of them. And Patla, EFF need to do public lecture about the open border policy. It's a good policy if they communicate it well. Because if we can integrate home affairs databases with other countries, criminals can be traced. And Kamohelo, we are blaming IEC for the July 2024 riots. Not 2021, not 2024. In regional areas, we could see an MK plus EFF coalition in KZN. The last one, Njabulo. EFF and MK coalition in KZN Uh, it's only going to happen if the MK goes closer to 50%, 48, 49, because last time we checked, the EFF was sitting on 2%. I said yesterday that for that to work, between the two, EFF or MK would need to work hard and get more of the votes. Because at 2% for the EFF, we should be growing probably to closer to 3. At that point, you need MK party to get a lot of votes, because if they don't go to 48, it won't be possible for them to work with the EFF alone, which means that is where they will have to get the IFP. So the relationship of MK and EFF needs the IFP in KZN. That's where they will exclude the ANC. And Andile, if EFF combine their vote with MK, then go to ANC, demand led expropriation, land without compensation, and nationalized mines, also free education, that can be good, because that is what we want as blacks. I'm sure the ANC could have done it alone if they really wanted it. But since we are here, it means they don't believe in it. But also that could work. But remember, those guys is not easy to work together. The main thing they're doing is to get rid of ANC. And it's going to be a lot of clashes there between ANC, MK, and EFF. But let us not forget, MK, EFF, ANC, that is one party. If really you want to speak about ideologies and what they believe, that is one party. It's just that there are differences. They got rid of Julius Malema, announced by Ramaphosa when they expelled him. They are getting, they didn't get rid of Jacob Zuma. They arrested him and he wanted revenge. So all those leaders come from the same party. If really there were no clashes between them, they could work together. So you could see that the closest would be EFF could work with, the ANC. But because the EFF is not growing as much as they could, you see that the relationship between them alone is not going to work. But if the ANC was sitting at where the EFF was sitting at where MK is, the relationship between the two would have been easy. Because as much as they don't like each other publicly sometimes, working together between the two would be easy. But MK, Zuma would not want to work with Ramaphosa. Never. Zuma wants Ramaphosa to go and sleep in jail the same way Zuma went because of Phala now for Ramaphosa. Zuma is gunning for revenge. So there is no way he's going to allow Ramaphosa to work together with him. So that is where the problem comes. And you have someone at number 2 who can be a decider in saying that ANC, let me save you all these energies and take out, or still no results for Gauteng. No, they are cooking them. We must not be surprised when the ANC comes back and they are on 45, and then they are telling us that counted 60%, and it actually went up a bit. We must not be surprised when they come back. As you can see, as I said, look at the board. Someone was speaking about the EFF going up. You should look at the board. The EFF is still on 9.54%. And MK has just crossed 11%. They are on 11.11%, which tells you that MK is not going down anytime soon. They are about to hit 900,000. The DA on 23% with 1.8. And you have ANC. This time they went up a bit. You see, it's up and down for the ANC. They're going to sit between 42 and 40%. They go up and down, and it depends on how MK does in KZN and how Limpopo is doing for the ANC. So, as I said, there are 2 provinces that would determine the results between ANC and MK. And everyone who's watching, who's looking at the results, they are focusing on ANC and MK. In Limpopo, they are still not, they haven't reached 50%, and KZN is way less. So when Limpopo increases and MK increases, I mean KZN increases, that is where the decision would come, because now we've just seen MK growing. On the comments, Tebogo says, Stephen says, Karabo, ANC is desperately praying for EFF coalition. And then Stephen, ANC is seen as South Africa's savior by South Africans. It's very difficult for Christians to turn their backs on their savior, the ANC. Tebo, MK and IFP coalition in KZN, that's a possibility. And then Jawulo DA funders will opt to work with ANC at national level. I agree on that. And then ANC, MK, and EFF must work together. Their policies are not far from each other. EFF was always here to divide the country. EFF lost to a first-time entering party. Well done. The whole entire country divided by 3 people. But the ANC and EFF coalition, says Jacob, is possible. Possible, but might not work because of needed votes. PLKSK says RIP EFF. Of course, at this point, the question is, are the EFF going to increase their votes as compared to last time in 2019 when they got 10%? Are they going to increase their votes? Because Zuma is here. Zuma is here to stay, and Zuma would be having a premiere in KZN. Let's check if Gauteng has been. I mean, how long are they going to cook this? It seems like they're cooking something that is difficult to finish. Okay, we'll just check other parties. I mean, it doesn't make sense for them to keep updating national and provinces who are not even showing us. It's like they're It's like they're doing this on purpose. The provinces where the ANC is failing are not showing. Sorry, let me just check if the IEC is saying something regarding the results. Because last time they spoke about the fact that, I update on public-facing NPE system. But they are not telling the truth. They say all systems have been restored. But why not some of the provinces? They forgot to turn on because they know that things are difficult there. They are still not telling us the truth because we know that what they are referring to is not happening. KZN is not showing. And that is where the focus is. And I'm sure Zuma is very happy to see that still no results. Zuma would be very happy to see that his dream is coming true. And of course, Tutuzile is preparing herself to go to parliament or even be the premier in KZN. It's possible. Jabulani wishes he was never fired by the MK party. He wishes he was still in the MK party, but it's too late for him to wish. It's very late for him to want to come back. I just want to take a 1 minute break just to refresh, guys. Just 1 minute. Let me just check.
With the connectivity to
I'll be back. Just 1 minute.
Here, as well as data on our website, and we should be back online very soon, and the data will be available again. But also to just keep everyone calm, The result system is functioning, and we've not lost any data, and there's progress with our capturing, and there are no issues in terms of that. We had interruption with the connectivity to our leaderboard here, as well as data on our website. And we should be back online very soon, and the data will be available again. But also to just keep everyone calm, the result system is functioning, and we've not lost any data, and there's progress with our capturing, and there are no issues.
He says there are no issues. We won't be surprised if Congolose comes back. If there are no issues, why is Gauteng not updated as of national? Thank you, Hoss. Matthew says EFF. Why is that comment? No, we still have long way to go and still waiting as the result teaching. Your coverage is well balanced, informative, my brother. Excellent work. Thank you, Stephen. What qualification do these, is it new party leaders have to the country? Well, probably their qualifications is grade 12, like the Yellow Party. But anyway, they are here to taste the honey, because everyone wants to taste what the ANC has been tasting, and they want to enjoy that. And hence I said I would be very disappointed to see TA letting this opportunity go away. At this point, working with ANC should be a no-go area. I mean, how do you go to work with the ANC when you know for sure that these guys have been in parliament since in power since 1994? You still want to give them another. I wish these political party leaders were hungry as the rest of South Africa is. And we must not forget about the fact that okay, what else? See the comments. Tabzela says, I think EFF is robbed here. No, they are not robbed. We seem to be slow, a bit slow. That is always the case with us during the day. The streams works perfectly at night, and during the day, what the? Seems to be slow on network, guys. Let me see if it is going to kick back. Seems like we have a similar problem to IEC now. Let me know if we are back, because I'm not sure if the issue of IEC is is giving us the same problem. Just let me know if we are back. Hey, is the issue of IEC. During oh man, it keeps going back and it comes back and leaves. Might have to end the stream if it does this and restart. um, hopefully, we are coming back, guys. The IEC, we're getting the same problem that the IEC is getting. Oh well. 1 minute we are back on. The next we are not up. It's so unfortunate. I we should be back now. Should really be back. If you are watching, guys, thank you if you didn't leave. This thing is giving me stress. I'm going to have gray hair soon. And the network should be good, but keeps giving us problems. Hopefully we keep going. Hey guys, and if you can hear me, just let me know. But as I can see on the screen, it says excellent connection, meaning we can go ahead. Um, let's just update and see if national something happened. No, there are no changes. Did we get something on Gauteng maybe? Still no results. They're still not giving us uh, they're still not giving us results for Gauteng. I mean, come on, IEC. Are the polls that big? KZN still nothing. And they said they should be back. I mean, are people not complaining about this? Because if we can see those big provinces, then we should be worried. Oh God, and here comes the stream having issues again. I'm wondering if people are really complaining about the system of IEC not showing us any province because it's going on provincially. No updates on